好朋友，早上好！欢迎你们到德伟老师的中文教室。我们从海边回来了。我们从海边回来了。Or you could say, 我们从海滩回来了。We're back from the beach. And man, we saw so much cool stuff. Didn't we see cool stuff? What did we see? So it took me a long time to get back here. I apologize for that. I guess the beach was just too nice. I couldn't get off the beach. I kept going back to the beach. But we're back in the classroom to be responsible. So we were talking about gathering relevant life vocabulary for our study. And I was talking about how when I was in Taiwan, especially when I was first learning, I carried around a little dictionary and a little notebook about the same size, a little spiral notebook thing. And whenever I heard a word or saw a character or something that I thought I really wanted to learn or know because it was relevant, it was important, it was, it was context specific to the life I was living every day. And so I would write it in my little notebook, and then when I got home, I'd look it up in my trusty dictionary. And what I ended up with was this little notebook of really great vocabulary stuff. And I tell you all this not because you need to run out and buy a dictionary, because now you can just ask Siri on your phone, and Siri does a pretty decent job. And then I can't even, my goodness, my eyeballs aren't good enough to even see that anymore. And you don't have to. And as I get into this more and more, I'm going to maybe look for some flashcard apps and some different stuff to bring my sorry butt up to date with the current technology and whatnot. So bear with me on that. So anyway, what we did is we went to the beach, and I encouraged you all to just write stuff down in English that you see. And if you haven't done that yet, you can go back and watch our videos. Pause this one, go back and watch the beach videos, and just write down a bunch of English words, because that's what we do. And look, here's an example of a bunch of English words. So you could just be at the beach or be at the night market in Shilin, Taipei, or wherever you are, and you just write stuff down. So what did I write down? I wrote down nature, shells, waves, feathers, sand, ocean, scenery, jellyfish, sand dollar, olive, snail. A little bit specific. Maybe just snail or snail shell would be fine. Sand crabs, fish. We saw a guy fishing. We saw seaweed. We saw clouds. We saw pretty rocks. We saw a big hotel. We saw a gopher. Wasn't he cute? We saw people parasailing. We picked up sea glass. So, wow, what a bunch of cool stuff. What else? We saw people riding bicycles. Did I say that already? So we can come back. I mean, that's a lot, right? If you came back with all that, it'd take you a day and a half to get all that vocabulary down. But don't worry too much about that. You can do it at your leisure, right? This is not a pressure deal. This is Dave's Mandarin Chinese classroom. Take a breath. Breathe it out. There, I feel better already. Okay, so then we get to work and we can say, Siri, how do you say beach in Chinese? And Siri will say, beach in Mandarin Chinese is hai tan, right? So you could just, I just sort of wrote out some of the words I wanted to learn like that. And I already knew a lot of these, truth be told, but I'm showing you. And I just got the tones, and it's kind of a mess, right? I wrote all over the place, but it's getting there, right? It's like the next step. So, so we start looking at stuff. So beach is hai tan. We're not going to practice these now. I'm just going to ramble at you for a minute. Shells are 贝壳, waves are 海浪, sand is 沙滩. There's our two first tones, right? 沙滩. So we will come back around and we'll use this for our pronunciation. Of course we will. 羽毛, feathers. 海玻璃, sea glass. Now, when you look in the dictionary, not when you look in the dictionary, but when you ask Siri especially, it's kind of like fake it till you make it. I think Siri sometimes spits out a very literal definition. And that doesn't mean it's wrong. 海玻璃 sounds good to me. That's what I would come up with. But sea glass, I don't know. Pretty specific. But sometimes you'll get a really literal translation and you'll have to tune that up later. But who cares? So what if you come up with 海玻璃, and maybe you get, you're at the beach and you're with your Chinese friends and you say 海玻璃and they all laugh at you. And they say, oh, it's not 海玻璃. We say blah, 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 blah. They wouldn't laugh at you. They're too nice for that. But they correct you, say. Who cares? Go back and change the flashcard, right? At least it got you there. You're at the beach. You said it. They thought it was kind of funny, and now you know the right word. But anyway, it's building context, life relevant vocabulary is what I think is important. And then you'll find yourself in those places over and over and over, doing those same things kind of over and over and over. We're creatures of habit, right? So if you get a chance to use 海玻璃 enough times, you're going to remember it forever. Pretty rocks, 漂亮的石头. Ocean, 海. That's a good one for us to practice right now, huh? 海, because we have our difficult H sound, and we have our third tone, so 海, that's ocean. Jellyfish, 水母. I didn't know that one. Literally, it means water mother. Interesting. And that can be another mnemonic device for us, can't it? If we remember that we may not know how to say jellyfish in Chinese, but water mother, 水母. Anyway, seaweed. So Siri came up with 海藻, which I believe that. I don't know. We used to fish in this stuff called eelgrass. 海草. An eel is something different. Well, how do you say eel? It's like 金鱼or something. I forget. Anyway. But I always said 海带 for seaweed. 海带. Maybe 海带 is the stuff you eat, and 海藻is I don't know. I have no idea. But anyway, it gets you going on it, doesn't it? And now we're learning. We're learning our context-specific stuff. Here's another literal one. Sand crab. 沙蟹. So that's 沙滩的沙 or 沙漠的沙. And desert or sand. And then 蟹 is a crab. 螃蟹. 螃蟹is crab. So 沙蟹, quite literally, is sand crab. Now, whether or not that's how you exactly say sand crab, the way we see them at the beach, I have no idea. But I do know that fish is 鱼, 钓鱼, just to go fishing. 我们有看到人钓鱼. We saw a man fishing. 在海边有一个人钓鱼. At the seaside, there was a person fishing. 大酒店, 大旅馆 is a big hotel. 云, clouds. We saw bicycles. So here's an interesting one. As I recall, in Taiwan, we said 自行车, which is like a vehicle that you make it go by yourself, or it goes by itself. 自行车, it goes by itself, or you operate it by yourself. Whereas in mainland China, it's 脚踏车, I believe. and again, that may have changed, or I may be just a little off base, but jiao is a foot, ta is to like press down. So jiao ta che is a vehicle that you press down with your feet. Funny, huh? Seagull. Ooh, we love our, what do they call them? Dump chickens around here. Hi. Oh, seagull. They look beautiful, but they're kind of gross if you really get to know them. But anyway, they do a job. Hi. Oh, hi. Oh, and it's beautiful to watch them surf the waves or to watch them just soaring around. It's really great. Anyway, so that's what we do. We just look stuff up. We start building our vocabulary. And then if there's something that we're kind of sure about and we want to learn it, we might make some flashcards. And I know that now you can be all high tech and do this with your telephone. And your telephone's going to be with you most of the time. So I'm not sure about the relevance of our flashcards anymore, but I liked them. You can put them in your pocket. You can take them here and there. You can throw a rubber band around them and reorganize them and take the ones you don't know and leave at home the ones you know. I don't know. Whatever. But say we want to learn seagull. I love that one, right? So remember when we're learning vocabulary, we always start with our English and we go towards our Chinese. So seagull. And we turn it over and we go hi. Oh. Oh. How might you spell that, Pinyin masters? Hi. H-A-I, third tone. O. O-U, first tone. Hi. Oh. Hi. Oh. Seagull. Hi. Oh. And then we have our flashcard. We'll get another one. How about beach? That's important for beach vocabulary. We write beach on one side. We're going to turn it over. And we're going to write Hai Tan. Hai Tan. Right? So we have beach. Hai Tan. And one 3x5 card is becoming 3 little flashcards. And what do we want? Waves, sand, jellyfish. How about waves? We like our waves, don't we? Hai Lang. And then we can practice our H again. Hai Lang. Wave. Hai Lang. Yeah. So in English, we just put an S on the end of something to make it plural, right? Where in Chinese, it doesn't work that way. Hai Lang is waves are waves. If you want to say one wave, you would say 一个海浪, if that is indeed the measure word for waves. We have measure words. So when we say a number and then the number of something, you have to get the measure word right. So that's something in Chinese that is a little bit difficult. But ge is the most common measure word, and it can be subbed if, for example, you don't know the measure word for fish, which is 条, 一条大鱼, a really big fish. You could say 一个鱼 and it would sound terrible. And your friends would all judge you. But once again, they'd probably correct you. And then you could be on your way to knowing that it's 条, 一条大鱼, 一条鱼. And the measure word for dog, go, is 只一只狗, 一只猫, 两只猫, 2 cats. Anyway, da-da-da-da-da. Seagull, hi, oh. Ooh, we got it right. Beach, high tan. Did you get it right? High tan. How do you say waves, party people? Hai lang. Very good. So we got these all right. We're going to put them on the right-hand side. Aren't we proud of ourselves? I know I'm proud of myself. Can you tell? So that's what we did. We went to the beach. We wrote down a bunch of stuff, or maybe we're on the bus. We just like grab a piece of paper, fold it in half, write down a bunch of stuff. We get home, pull out our trusty dictionary or our trusty phone. We start building vocabulary. On our little worksheet here, just looking stuff up and writing stuff down, and turns it into a big old mess. Some of it we're not too sure about. And then our favorite ones that we are pretty rock solid sure about, we can start making flashcards. And then we can go to the beach and we can practice our beach vocabulary. Wouldn't that be fun? And that's what we'll do. Maybe we'll have an on-beach quiz. But for now, party people, I'm going to say goodbye. And I'm going to go run some errands. And I'm not going to make a million of these flashcards, or maybe I will, who knows. But what I want to do is I want to do some other stuff with this. Some substitution drills. 你在海滩有看到什么？我在海滩有看到一个人钓鱼。I saw a man fishing. 你在海滩有看到什么？ What did you see at the beach? 我在海滩有看到一只狗。I saw one dog at the beach. 我有看到海浪。I saw waves. 我有看到沙蟹 sand crabs. And stuff like that. Oh, we saw parasailing. How do you say parasailing? I don't think I figured that out. Well, we'll do that next time. Shame on me. We're going to look up parasailing. We're going to look up... I think that was the only one that I really didn't know how to say. Kind of specific. But in Sand City, where I walk on the beach here in Seaside, we live right on the edge of Monterey, California, and Seaside, California. Technically, we're in Monterey, but we're really closer to Seaside than anything Monterey. And so we go to Sand City, to the beach. And yeah, that's where we took our walk. So check it out. Write down your stuff. And we'll be back after we run our errands to, we'll keep going on this beach unit. We'll go over some more of our vocabulary. We can use this vocabulary to practice our tones and our pronunciation. I realize we're getting really far ahead of ourselves. But that's going to be it for now. And so thanks for tuning in. And we'll be back in an hour or so to do some more beach vocabulary building and pronunciation practice. We also want to dive back into our textbook, to our pronunciation charts, and keep going with our initials and our Chinese phonetics, which are not difficult, but are very important and take a lot of practice. So thank you for tuning in. This is Dave's Mandarin Chinese Classroom, and I am Dave. Please subscribe to the channel, like the videos, and bye for now. 再见.